Hey guys, so today I want to do, I guess, an art advice video, but around one particular piece of advice, thing that I've learnt through my years of drawing that I feel, having thought about it quite a lot, is the most important piece of advice I could give. First, a couple of disclaimers. One being, sorry, I've already started drawing this. I'm halfway through, but I wasn't planning to film. So yeah, I'd already started drawing before I started recording this. Second disclaimer, I'm going to be trying to speak and draw at the same time because I feel I might need to illustrate what I'm saying at the same time, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I'm not that great at speaking anyway, let alone when I'm trying to draw at the same time. And yeah, I'm not really gonna be able to edit this video much, so you're kind of gonna get the slightly chaotic way in which I speak. I mean, it's bad enough when I've edited me speaking, let alone the unedited version, so yeah. And the third disclaimer is, I'm a furry artist. This is the kind of art I do. So any advice I give, not just for this video, but any video, I'm meaning it more in the context of furry artwork. I think for this particular video you can use the advice for any sort of art. I don't think it's specific to furry art. But yeah, I'm saying it may be relevant to other avenues of art. It may not be. Art itself is subjective, so I think any advice on art from me or from anyone else is kind of subjective as well. I don't think there's a one size fits all. I mean, obviously stuff like colour theory is kind of universal, but generally speaking, you can take what you want from art advice videos or disregard it if you feel it doesn't apply to you, or it's my opinion, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Take what you want from it. Yeah, that is my point. It's actually kind of something I'm going to touch on again later in the video, that I don't think you should ever completely take a single piece of art advice to heart and really latch onto it. Just do your own thing. So yes, what is this great piece of art knowledge I wish to impart upon you all? Okay, here it is. Enjoying how you draw is more important than how you draw. Emphasis on the word enjoying. Not enjoying what you draw, enjoying how you draw it. Okay, let me elaborate. Bear with me. So yeah, not what you draw, because chances are you're not always going to enjoy what you draw. I mean, I guess if you're an OC artist or a fan artist, you're choosing what you're drawing, so you do always enjoy it. I don't know. But if you're like me and you're a commission artist, chances are sometimes you're gonna be asked to draw stuff you don't necessarily enjoy, and that's no disrespect to my commissioners. Art being what it is, we all have different tastes, so your character might just not be to my taste, something that I would necessarily draw sort of off my own back kind of thing. That doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean your idea is bad or whatever you're asking me to draw is bad. It's just not necessarily my tastes. But if you enjoy how you draw, it doesn't necessarily matter if you don't enjoy the subject matter you are drawing. By which I kind of mean, if there's something you don't like about the way you draw, say you don't like line art, don't do it. If the thought of doing line art stops you picking up your pen or whatever and drawing, or if it means it takes ages for you to finish anything because you have to keep stopping and, you know, doing something else and taking breaks, don't do line art. That's kind of, I mean, it's kind of why I've stopped doing proper line art, because I didn't necessarily not enjoy it, but it just took too long. It was just sucking the fun out of it. So yeah, like you see, I kind of do more sketchy lines now. It's much quicker and I enjoy it a lot more than I did. So yeah, if you don't like doing line art, don't do it. Do like sketchy, I'm gonna say line art for them, like don't do clean lines if that's something that bothers you. And if you find, say there's an aspect of art like anatomy or shading, but I'm going to say anatomy for this. If trying to get correct anatomy all the time is hindering your enjoyment, like if you stress about it, don't worry about it. Don't do correct anatomy if it's causing a problem. Just draw wrong anatomy. No, I don't mean like draw a horse with like the leg joints of a dog or something like that. I mean, you can bend it a bit. Like here, like dog legs don't bend that way. But I've discovered I quite enjoy drawing them like that, because by purposely messing up the anatomy, I can kind of not get away with more, but like I enjoy it more because I'm not thinking, oh god, I have to have the anatomy right, because I'm purposely making it not right. I think like I carried the idea of like having to have correct anatomy. I mean, I'm a cartoony style artist anyway, or have been for most of my art life. I did kind of try semi-realism at one point, but I just didn't, it wasn't for me. But even like though my style was cartoony, I always used to think, oh, I have to get it kind of realistic looking as possible within the cartoony style. So like a little while ago, I'd have never dreamed of drawing a dog leg like that, because they don't bend like that, they're more like that. But I don't know, I was just getting so wound up about it, and I found it made like my poses stiffer, and I just wasn't enjoying art that much. And the same with line art. I used to always think, oh, you have to have like proper like clean line art. I think it's a carryover from like when I first started out drawing, and I'd see like art advice videos from artists who've been doing it longer, and I'd really take to heart whatever it was they said. Like if they said don't do line art this way, not this way, I'd be like, oh yeah, well they must know what they're talking about because they've been doing it longer, so I must do it exactly as they said to do it, otherwise my art's bad. And I'm like, that's just not the case. Which is what I was trying to get at earlier. Like, no piece of art advice that I give or that anyone else gives should be treated as like the be all and end all. You could try out the advice, and if it works for you, great. And if you find it useful, great. But if you find it holds you back, ignore it. Yeah. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, I think it really stops you, like, well, it stops you drawing at all for a start, which obviously is a problem. But then, I don't know, you don't feel as motivated to like improve or try new things, which in itself is a way to improve, I guess. Yeah, find a method of drawing, whether that be doing kind of wonky anatomy, whether that be doing clean line art or not doing clean line art or having no line art at all, you brave people who can do lineless artwork. And if the thing you enjoy drawing means the anatomy's wrong or the line art looks a bit untidy or whatever, that's fine, as long as you enjoy it. Just because other people are doing correct anatomy or whatever, it does not matter. Because when you actually enjoy what you're drawing, even if, like, not every piece of art is going to be the best bit of art you've ever made, is it? Like, it doesn't work like each piece is sort of a noticeable improvement from the one before it, which that's something that used to get me down a lot. But because I've changed up my method and stopped worrying so much about line art and anatomy and everything, it doesn't matter to me so much if something I draw isn't perfect, because I think, oh, it's okay, I'll just try again another time. It'll be fun to have to like draw something similar again and try and improve it, rather than before it was like, oh god, no, I've got to draw this thing again and it looks awful. And god, I don't know, like, when you enjoy how you're drawing, it's not such a big deal if stuff doesn't turn out quite right. I don't know, you feel happier with your art as it is, I think, is what I've found anyway. I enjoy drawing so much more now. This sounds really stupid because obviously I've been drawing a long time, but I didn't actually enjoy it that much. It was kind of, I was just doing it because I always had done it and didn't really know what else to do. And then obviously it became my job and I was like, well, I don't want to have to get another job, so I'm going to stick with doing this. But yeah, because I didn't enjoy drawing stuff, it took me ages to do anything, I was never happy with it, and now I'm like, I can draw stuff quite quickly, and even if I don't think it's like the most amazing thing I've ever drawn, I'm like, well, at least I had fun drawing it. And yeah, and when I'm asked to draw something I wouldn't necessarily choose to draw otherwise, it's like, well, it's fine, because I don't mind the actual process of drawing. As opposed to when I kind of didn't like the process of drawing, and then it's a double sort of feeling of, oh, I don't like what I'm drawing and I don't like how I'm drawing it. Yeah. So that's my advice. Find a method of drawing that you enjoy doing. And I know it's easier said than done, but don't worry about whether it's the most amazing thing you've ever drawn kind of thing. Like, if you enjoy how you're drawing, you're going to keep drawing, and so you are going to improve anyway. Like, the more you draw, the more you'll improve. I know it annoys people when they ask, I get people message me for advice sometimes, and I'm like, just keep practicing, and they're like, yeah, well, that's great. But I'm like, that is genuinely what you have to do. Keep practicing. There's not really, I mean, there are shortcuts, but not really. The more you draw, the more you're gonna know how to draw. But yeah, if you can find a way of enjoying drawing, then it won't matter that you have to keep practicing, because you'll enjoy doing it. I'm trying to think if there's something else I wanted to say on this like subject. I don't think there is. I think I've kind of said it, but I'm not sure how well I've said it, so possibly it doesn't make sense to anyone. Yeah, enjoy what you do and stop worrying. It's all fine. It'll work out eventually. It'll take time, but you'll get to where you want to be eventually, sort of. I mean, I don't think any artist ever really reaches where they want to be, because that's part of it, isn't it? Like, always wanting to do better and always wanting to improve and stuff. It is art, I think it's more about the journey than the end result, really. Like, obviously, yeah, you have to finish pieces and stuff, but like, being an artist, it's not about finishing stuff or reaching a point where you think, oh yes, I've done everything now, this is exactly where I want to be, I never need to move forward. There's always going to be something you want to improve. There's always more to learn. Yeah, so I hope that kind of made sense to somebody. I'm not entirely sure it did. Possibly I'm going to listen to this back and have to delete the whole thing, in which case nobody's ever going to see this video, and that's fine. Yeah. So I hope the beginning of 2023 is going okay for people. Can't believe we're in 2023, but whatever. Yeah, good luck with all your art and everything else that's going on in your lives. See you again soon for a slightly more coherent video, I hope, or just an actual drawing one rather than whatever the hell this was. Yeah, have a good day, guys. Bye.